Hi there, this is Lizzie from Lizzie's Dressing Table, and happy spring. Welcome to my next video where I am going to be showcasing my spring scents, and it would not be spring if the buds were not blooming on the trees and my sinuses were completely draining. So I haven't experienced this for about 4 years, and I'll tell you, when I don't have to deal with this, it's great because sometimes it'll get to the point where I can't smell my perfumes. So I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. Hopefully it's not too scratchy, but I love spring, and spring comes very slowly in the Midwest, especially where we are in the northern Midwest. But I'm excited to do this video, and I look forward to sharing with you my spring perfumes, the ones that I love to wear. Since it's still April and not truly spring here, I wanted to focus on the watercolor pastel perfumes that I have. So before I start my perfume reviews, I wanted to share with you the personal story that I have about this impressionistic painting that I have in the background. This is called Lady with a Parasol. This is actually a picture that was painted by Claude Monet in 1875. And it's a picture of his wife, Camille Monet, Madame Camille Monet, and their son, Jean Monet. It was set in the Argenteuil region in France. And the story that I have about this picture is I first saw it when I was 15 years old. I went to Washington, D.C. on a class trip. And I remember going into different museums when I was there, and it was in the springtime. It was around this time of year, and you know, we saw so many beautiful pictures in the different museums there. But when I saw this particular picture, it just blew me away how radiant it was, just the colors, how dappled and effervescent and glowing with light it seemed to be. And it sort of set the tone for me for spring. I remember seeing this picture, but then I remember leaving the museum, and you know, it had rained and the cherry blossoms were blooming, and it was almost like looking at this picture and then stepping out into an impressionistic picture with the trees and the greenness of the new leaves there, and just how beautiful the city is. So that really sets the tone, and it really evokes my love of the spring florals that are included with these perfumes that I'm going to discuss. So anyway, art lesson over, so let's get into this. The first perfume that I really love for the spring is Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely. And yeah, fortunately I'm still able to smell, so I can tell you what these smell like. Now, I'm not going to spray a whole lot because my sinuses are going wild. But this is very pastel and very delicate, very light, and it's something I actually like to spritz on before bed. To me, and it'll probably sound kind of strange, but this reminds me of what like a baby would smell like, baby's clothes, a baby blanket, and it's just beautiful. It was launched in 2005, so it is technically a vintage scent, which I absolutely love. It's considered a floral woody musk. It was created by Clement Gavery and Laurent Le Guernac. And just to tell you some notes, lavender, martini, which I'm not sure what martini is. I will look that up. But also bergamot, mandarin orange, and palisander rosewood. The middle notes are patchouli, orchid, and narcissus, and the base is musk, woodsy notes, it looked like woodsy holes, cedar and white amber. And it's a beautiful, beautiful perfume. And actually, I was going to share with you a book that I read about the creation of Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely, as well as Hermès's Jardin sur le Nil by Jean-Claude Elena. A really interesting book, and I think it's called Making of a Perfume. I will put that below me in the video description. I was supposed to have that ready, but as you can see, I'm unprepared. But I will put the book title in the video so that you can read more about the creation of this perfume. It talks about the creation of this from the conception of the perfumer's consultation with Sarah Jessica Parker all the way through to the advertising that they did once the perfume was released. So yeah, but the first really good spring scent. And so the next perfume, and this is to me spring personified. This is Dior's Diorissimo, and this is absolutely beautiful. This smells very, it's a light scent, but it smells of hyacinths, which is something that I so completely associate with the spring. It's the quintessential spring flower. This was actually launched in 1956, and it was created by one of the first great perfumers, Edmund Raudnitska. And from what I read about this perfume, Christian Dior's favorite flower was the lily of the valley, and this is very heavily scented to mimic the smell of lily of the valley. That is a flower actually that's very, very difficult to capture just in natural form. In fact, you can't capture it at all because it is so delicate. And lily of the valley, naturally growing, is actually quite spicy. I have lily of the valley growing in the back of my backyard, and it's poisonous if you touch it, but a really very delicate scent. But this one is considered floral, of course. The top notes are green leaves and bergamot. The middle notes are lily of the valley, lilac, jasmine, lily, ylang ylang, amaryllis, rosemary, and boronia. And the base is civet and sandalwood. And I said it smelled like hyacinths, but actually it's lily of the valley. There are so many beautiful spring flowers that I get confused, but Diorissimo, I totally recommend this for the spring. It's gorgeous. And so the next perfume that I love to wear in the spring, and really any time of year, is Kenzo's Flower. And this is an oriental floral, and it was launched in 2000. And I remember wearing this in the early 2000s when I was in my 20s. I love Kenzo perfumes. They're really beautiful. This was created by Alberto Marias and Christian Dussolier. And the top notes are Bulgarian rose, hawthorn, blackcurrant, mandarin orange. The middle notes are Parma violet, rose, apopanax, and jasmine. And the base is vanilla, white musk, and incense. And yeah, it's powdery, and it just smells really, it smells green, and just something really distinctive about it. Just powdery, but in the best way. So yes, Kenzo's Flower. And incidentally, I can tell you, and I don't have pictures of this, but my husband and I recently went to the duty-free shop as we were crossing from Canada back into Michigan, and I saw at the duty-free shop this humongous bottle of Kenzo's Flower. Now, I didn't purchase it because I already had a bottle of Kenzo Flower, but I couldn't believe how big this was. It was like 4 feet tall, or 3 feet. It was huge. So tempting, but I didn't bite. So now the next perfume that I look forward to wearing, this was actually something that I received for Christmas last year from my beloved aunt. This is Clinique Calyx. This is not the Prescriptives version that came out in 1987. That was actually discontinued. And I would love to smell Prescriptives Calyx. But this is really interesting, and from what I understand, it does really sort of retain the scent that the Prescriptives version had, although I've heard that Prescriptives version was a little more spicy, a little richer. But this version, Clinique's version, was launched in 2013. It was created by Sophia Grossman, who is the queen of florals. Just beautiful. It's got green leaves, guava, passion fruit, papaya, grapefruit, mango, and mandarin orange for the top notes. The middle notes are lily of the valley, freesia, lily, marigold, neroli, jasmine, and rose. And the base is oak moss, vetiver, orris root, and sandalwood. So it's a rosy guava scent. It's beautiful. And I could be wrong, and I'll have to compare the two. It smells a little like Lulu, but I'll have to compare the two and perhaps put my thoughts below. But yeah, a treasure from the 1980s, which is right up my alley. How about you? Do you like vintage scents? Are you crazy for the 1980s bombastic florals? I know I am. But I usually leave them for the summer. The springtime for me is time for something softer. And the next perfume, and this is actually an eau de toilette. This is something that I started wearing when I was a young teenager. I was 14 years old. This is Louis Theroux's Vivage. And now I will admit my nose is a bit altered. Smells a little funky, which it doesn't usually. It's got a top note of elemi, which is a resin. I'm just going to spray this. Yeah, it's really, really nice. As I mentioned, Louis Theroux's Vivage. It has elemi, lilac, yellow narcissus, white lily, carnation, and violet. And this was something that you could order from Avon. They carried this perfume. I know that they also had his Côte d'Azur, which I can't quite recall what that smells like, but I have seen the bottle, and that is something that actually is kind of on my wish list that I may get, but it'll be a while. I have a lot of 1980s perfumes, and this is a favorite of mine for the spring. And are you familiar with Vivage? And do you know Louis Theroux's perfumes? His last name is spelled F-E-R-A-U-D, but it's pronounced Feraud. And so what seemed to go hand in hand with Vivage is Anais Anais. Now I know that I have shown this multiple times, and like it or hate it, it has stood the test of time. This is a new bottle that I purchased at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. It was $25, and this is the one that has the hyacinth in it, as well as honeysuckle, lily, lily of the valley, jasmine, ylang ylang, rose, moss, musk, vetiver, sandalwood, and black currant. I love this, and even though I am congested and I don't know. I won't get any more graphic than that. I can still smell this. I mean, this is strong. So yeah, thank goodness I can still smell for now. But I thought I better get this video underway before I lose my sense of scent. So spring just wouldn't be spring if the sinuses weren't running. But another perfume that is a new discovery for me, even though I know that it has been around for quite a while. In fact, this was created and launched in 2013, so it's about 13 years old. And it's small. I have a small bottle of this, but this is Jo Malone's Peony and Blush Suede. And for quite a while, when I was becoming familiar with Jo Malone's perfumes, even though I know she's been around forever, I never really investigated her scents very much. And I resisted this because it was everywhere. You know, you would get it in any sampler kit. It was just ubiquitous. So I thought, you know, how good can it be? There's a reason that it's everywhere. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's, I think, higher pitched, and it's sweeter than a rose, and a peony and a rose are two different flowers, of course. But that the suede note just makes it really beautiful, and I enjoy this year round. So Peony and Blush Suede is a perfume that was created by Christine Nagel, who is now the head of Hermes Perfumes. The top note is red apple. The middle note is peony, rose, jasmine, and carnation, and the base is suede. And it's just such a gorgeous perfume scent by Jo Malone. So yeah, it's a great one. And moving on, this is a perfume I found in an antique shop, and I paid maybe $8 for this. This is Clinique's Happy Heart, and this is soapy. This is sweet. It reminds me of cherry blossoms, and the bottle with its pink, just shiny cap, it's just lovely. And I'm not going to spray it because I've sprayed a couple of other perfumes in here. But yeah, it's great. And what a find. I mean, it's a tester. So, and I did need to clean it up a little bit. I usually sanitize the perfumes that I purchase at antique stores, but I love this. This was introduced in 2012. The top notes are mandarin orange. The middle notes are water hyacinth, and the base is white wood. And, you know, when you go into a store, and I went into Ulta yesterday, and I saw this, and, you know, it's like $95. Yeah, so this is another really beautiful scent. And the thing about spring is there's so many great perfumes that it's almost like there's too many. I think spring has to be my favorite season for perfumes. These kind of florals are just right up my street. So yeah, Happy Heart gets my full recommendation for it as a beautiful spring scent. And the next perfume is Avon's Haiku. And this to me is a very green, soapy, you know, it just smells like soap. But it's really beautiful, really pastel green, and just a really great perfume. It's considered a floral green scent. It was launched in 2000. The top notes are dewdrop, pomegranate, yuzu, freesia, and pear. The middle notes are lily of the valley, jasmine, Chinese peony, kumquat, prunella, fig, and tuberose, and the base is musk, sandalwood, vetiver, tonka bean, and vanilla. And this is just the original Haiku. There are 10 flankers that Avon sells with these, with this particular perfume. And I haven't really smelled any of the other flankers. I understand they're very good, but I just haven't gotten to them. I like the original. So, yep, Avon's Haiku. And the next absolutely beautiful perfume, pun intended, I guess, is Estee Lauder's Beautiful. Now, this is, I think, it's gorgeous. In fact, I think that this is really a universal floral that you can wear all year round. It is a little bit heavier for spring. And yeah, there is a heaviness to it, but I absolutely love it. I love Estee Lauder's florals. They just do really beautiful florals. This was launched in 1985, and I remember it from 1985. I would have been going into high school at that time. This is another Sophia Grossman creation. She created this with the perfumers Bernard Chant and Max Gavery. So the top notes of Beautiful are, and if you have the patience, galbanum, rose, lily, blackcurrant, fruity notes, cassia, mandarin orange, bergamot, and lemon. The middle notes are tuberose, carnation, marigold, mimosa, narcissus, jasmine, ylang ylang, chamomile, lily of the valley, geranium, magnolia, and orange blossom, as well as lilac, freesia, pink violet, sage, and neroli. And I seem to have lost the base notes because part of my notes are totally ripped off. So I will try to list the base notes of this. But this is a kitchen sink floral. This has just absolutely every flower in it. I love it. It's very strong. So for me, I would go light-handed with this perfume, but it is a gorgeous floral. So yeah, that is my next choice for a beautiful spring scent. And I think that this is actually the last perfume that I wanted to highlight. This is Kenzo's Parfum d'été. Parfum d'été means summer perfume in French. And this is another one that I used to wear kind of around the time that I was wearing Kenzo's Flower. Yeah, it's a light green, watery scent, and it was created by Antoine Lee. This was released in 2002, so this would have been 2 years after Kenzo's Flower. The top notes are lily of the valley and green notes. The middle notes are hyacinth, jasmine, and peony, and the base is white musk and sandalwood. And actually, with the notes that I have, I've got conflicting dates. One of the dates is 2002, but it said it was created in 1992. So I think actually what it was is that it came out in a different bottle in 92, but then it might have been repackaged in 2002 in this sort of leaf design. So I'll try to investigate that. I didn't do my homework beforehand. But anyway, I'm having fun, and homework isn't fun. So yeah, Parfum d'été. And then actually there was another perfume, and this is new to my collection, and I did not want to overlook it because it is absolutely beautiful, and I received this when I purchased a recent bottle of the Shalimar L'Essence Intense, and this is from the Aqua Allegoria Forte line. This is Guerlain's Florabloom, and I like saying it Floraboom because you spray this and boom, you get some florals. But this was introduced in 2024, and apologies, all I have is a little spray, so I will hold up the little envelope it came in. And as with Shalimar L'Essence Intense, it was created by the same perfumer, Delphine Jelk. The top notes are mango, bergamot, and lime. And yeah, you really get that when you first spray this. I mean, this to me was like, ooh, what a little nipper this one is when I sprayed it. It was gorgeous. Middle notes are tuberose, violet, rose, and iris. And the base is coconut, musk, and sandalwood. And I'm not going to spray it because I can smell it on the small nozzle. But yeah, I am definitely considering getting a full bottle of this. This one just packs a punch, and a beautiful punch at that. So yeah, that is the final perfume that I wanted to talk about. Guerlain's Aqua Allegoria Florabloom. So, all right, so I made it despite my congestion. My nose held out, yay. And I think that might be because I've been training it over the last 2.5 years. And so I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please let me know. Do you know any of these perfumes? Do you like them? Do you wear any of them? What perfumes do you enjoy wearing in the springtime? What are your favorites? I love to hear from my viewers. Please give me some ideas about perfumes that I might not know about. I love the vintage perfumes, but please give me your ideas. So thanks again for tuning in, and I wish you the best of springs, and I will catch you on my next video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, and I will talk to you on my next video when hopefully my nose is at full power. So have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.